Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fred Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is May 5th, 2023, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Apple publishes its first quarterly earning reports for 2023. Earnings are up, sales are up, but we're going to follow up with that in just a second. But looking at today's major economic events at 2:30 South African time, out of the United States, we have a non-farm payroll numbers coming out for the jobs created in April of last month. Now, looking at the various markets going into today's trading session, the GBP looking to break out at 126 versus the dollar. When we look at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both trickle lower. Looking at commodities, gold and oil pretty much unchanged. And looking at the stocks, tech stocks looking quite weak as this is exiting. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin unchanged as well. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're going to start out with the Euro USD at a daily chart and just give you a perspective, actually a 4-hour chart. Okay, let's take a look at this. We are at resistance-ish level. Yesterday, we did have the main refinancing rate come out and not doing much. Okay, however, look at this. This is where it gets kind of interesting. The GBP USD breaking to new highs versus the dollar. Now, it's spiking. I don't know if this is a fake out, breakout, or it's going to really follow through. So keep an eye on this because this may actually lift everything against the dollar higher. Now, the dollar is in an interesting situation right now with vis-a-vis the Dow Jones. Usually, Dow Jones goes up, dollar goes down. Dow Jones goes down, dollar goes up. So the Dow Jones has been trickling lower. But before we get to that, let's take a look at gold. Gold really unchanged at 2046 as yesterday's session kind of we had that fade opportunity and then kind of finding our bearing right now. And we're only 30 points away from our all-time highs. So for all intents and purposes, this can go higher. Okay, so just keep an eye on this. Now, in terms of technicals, there's not much doing here. The best you could do is just sell the top of the move and buy the bottom of the move. But right here, where we're so close to our all-time highs, multi-year highs, historical highs, I wouldn't look to short this at the top. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, looking at crude oil, it's trading towards the bottom of the range at $69, but from day to day, it didn't do much of a change from yesterday to today. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, trickling lower to 33,272. Now, we've trickled close to 1,000 points from our highs of 34,100-ish level, and this is all to be expected, okay, as news is coming out and stocks coming out that they're weaker. Nothing is going ahead of anything else, meaning the indices are not trading ahead of the stocks are not trading, they're trading together right now. So in terms of that, that kind of creates a very tricky situation. Now, I don't expect massive kind of corrections on the downsides or massive kind of corrections on the upside, but this is going to continue happening and we're still in that range. Now, I'm looking at the NASDAQ trickling lower, not by much. Now, when we look at the individual stocks, Apple came out with its news yesterday. After hours trading didn't trade so much higher. And the reason is that, yeah, sales are up, earnings are up, but in terms of their capacity, in terms of their growth, they're growing at a slower pace. They're still growing, but they're growing at a slower pace. We haven't seen something like this since 2016. And so kind of need to see how this is going to still unfold itself in the next couple of quarters. Now, looking at Facebook, did get significantly weaker, okay, to 233. So that is an important item. Microsoft also selling off a little bit, but holding its gains all in all, okay. JP Morgan also just looking very weak. Bank of America also looking very weak. If I might add, on the daily chart, we're looking like we're making a double bottom here. And this is really very important because if we do break this $26, we could see it in the low 20s. Looking at Cisco, breaking lower as well. So there is weakness in the market. It's not like it's unfounded. However, there's also some resilience in the market. So we're just really chugging along. We're not really selling off. We're not going higher for sure. So we're somewhere going in the mid-range here, and that is something to consider. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, day-to-day, not much of a change, 29,179. It had a few moves into the day, but really still trading within the range and not to expect much out of this. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.